evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Jacksonville Environmental and Appearance Advisory Committee's 75th meeting tonight. That's kind of a milestone. Our first order of business is to call the meeting to order. We're right on time. And our second is the adoption of the agenda. I hope the members have reviewed the agenda. I'm looking for a motion and a second to adopt the agenda for this evening.
I move that we adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Motley.
Second.
Thank you, sir. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We are adopted agenda. The next item for your consideration is the minutes of our June 5th, 2025 meeting. If you've had a chance to review those, Chelsea, thank you for preparing those. Always do a great job. We're just looking for a motion to approve
I
minutes.
move that we accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Thank you all. All righty. All in favor, say aye. Aye, all right. Our next order of business is officer elections. Members should nominate and vote for a chairman and a chairperson. So if someone would like to consider serving in the chair of chair, I'm looking for a nomination.
So I want to make sure all the members understand. I know Dr. Washington was talking a little bit about this. Beth and Daniel both have served 1 year in their current positions. They can serve a second year. You do just go through the process, or you can throw nominations out for anyone else. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to make sure we all understood that.
So a motion to nominate, we're looking for a motion to nominate for chair.
Or somebody can nominate that the current chair and vice chair remains the same and someone can second. I just can't do it.
That's a good idea. Yeah. You can, Melvin and I have told you that we're willing to serve this second year just for the continuity. But if there's anyone else who would like to step up there, certainly
I
welcome.
move that the current seats remain in place.
They
Second.
need a second.
Second.
They need a second.
I can't second.
Oh,
Ms. Keys will second, okay? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Here we go, Melvin. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to serve on this board, and I'm happy to serve another year, and then it will be somebody else's turn. All good. All right, and we are ready for the comments from our council liaison, Dr. Angela Washington.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Purcell, or Madam Chair, may I say. Thanks again for deciding to serve on this committee for another year, and thank you, Mr. Lewis, for also deciding to serve another year as vice chair. So about this time next year, we will be looking for nominations for new chair and vice chair. So you have a whole year to anticipate who is going to step into the leadership. However, I just want to continue to thank you for your service, that you continue to serve on this committee and to support the tenets of the council and moving forward. So thank you so very much for your service. I did want to bring a report from the Onslow County Civic Affairs meeting that took place today. And for those who are not aware, that on September 11th, we continue to have our 9/11 Patriots Day observance over in the Beirut Grove area. And the service this year, of course, is going to take place September the 11th of 2025 at 8:15 a.m. So you probably want to get there a little bit early. Again, it continues to be a somber occasion as we remember this 24th anniversary as to one of the violent crimes that was committed on American soil. One of the things that the committee is implementing this year is that when we think about tragedies such as 9/11, it can resonate and have a different perspective, particularly if you were in the military serving at that time, or you had family members and subsequently they lost their lives. It can have a triggering effect. So one of the things that we decided that we're going to promote this year is for family members and for the public alike to be able to have contact information with regard to mental health services, that just in case this might trigger certain feelings within you, there is a number that you can call to receive that emotional mental health support, because believe it or not, 1 month later, we will be celebrating we will be honoring and observing the Babe Ruth Memorial. And that really has a close tie to this particular community. And one of the things that we do is called the Yellow Ribbon campaign, where yellow ribbons usually, actually, as a matter of fact, my science teacher, Mrs. Warren at Northwoods Park Junior High School, when I was going there, started this campaign with her students, placing yellow ribbons throughout the community as a way to observe the Babe Ruth Memorial casualty that happened. So Mrs. Pam McIntosh is going to receive information from the Civic Affairs that when this particular campaign begins to prepare the yellow ribbons, I am asking that if anyone on the committee is free on that particular day to help with the placement of the yellow ribbons throughout the city to help the middle school students. It's not something that you have to do, but certainly if you're able to volunteer, your services is greatly welcome in order for this campaign to be acknowledged. So other than that, that is my report. And again, thank you for your service and all that you do for the city of Jacksonville.
I have a quick question. Do you have a projected time frame? I know the ceremony is on the 23rd. Is there a window?
I do not have any more information at this time, but as soon as that information is solidified, more than likely Mrs. McIntosh will touch bases with you, Mr. LaCory, so you can get that information
And
out.
traditionally, our experience has been about a week ahead of time, the yellow ribbons will start appearing. Yeah.
Did anyone have any other questions for Dr. Washington? Thank you. Next up, we have the wonderful ladies of Neighborhood Improvement Services. It's changed, the name has changed a few times in my tenure, so I didn't want to write it up. They're here tonight to give us a presentation. We're excited to receive what you're going to put down for us, and we'll turn it over to Ms. Tracy Jackson.
Thank you for having us tonight. Good evening. I am Tracy Jackson, Director of Neighborhood Improvement Services. And joining me, I have Pamela Trafton, who is our Senior Coordinator, and we also have LaShawn Harston, who is our Coordinator. The mission of Neighborhood Improvement Services is to focus on improving all neighborhoods within the city limits of Jacksonville. And we do that by connecting Jacksonville's diverse neighborhoods with city government. We also facilitate effective public participation, enhance economic development, and implement community-based strategies to improve the quality of life of our citizens. Our impact in Jacksonville is focused on programs and initiatives that are funded with U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and, of course, general funds. And we are here to share some of those programs that we use to improve our neighborhoods and the environment. So we're going to start off with having Ms. Harston that's going to talk about clearance and demolition and also residential rehab. And then we're going to have Ms. Pamela Trafton come talk about our infill construction and our down payment assistance, which are programs that I think will improve our neighborhoods here in the city of Jacksonville. Without further ado, Ms. Harston.
Good evening, everyone. So this is part of our demolition program, which is a HUD objective, which focuses on removal of slum and blight within our community. This is a structure, a mobile home structure that was located on Miracle Drive. I'm pretty sure you've driven past it more than a few times, just off of 17, and you would see this once was white, then it was green structure that was there. All right, I didn't mean to make you laugh. And this is what it looks like now. Well, this is what it looked like when we removed the structure. So by doing so, we're able to meet that HUD objective and also improve the look of our city views. As you may know, that is a major thoroughfare, and it was an eyesore. If I was a visiting the Jacksonville area, I'm like, ooh, they need to get rid of that. All right. Another demolition that we also took care of within the city, this demolition took place on College, on College
You can see
Street.
the steps going
Okay,
up.
so you see the steps going up?
I just remember, I didn't mean to interrupt your
No,
comments.
it's
I
okay.
discovered that house when we were doing our cleanup, and okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
There was an occupant, the owner was her parents' home, and
Yes.
she passed about 2 years ago, but
Yes, and this is what it looked like before we started the demolition. And then after they removed all of the vegetation, this is what the home looked like. Yes, yes. And then afterwards, this is what it looked like once everything was cleared out and removed. Okay? Go ahead.
And want to recognize our streets crew for taking care of this, along with parks as well, because it shows the partnership between neighborhood improvement services and the collaboration with our streets department.
Absolutely.
To help make these projects possible.
Yes. And then moving right along into our residential rehabilitation program. With our residential rehabilitation program, we're able to service our community members that are in need of much needed safety-related home repairs that they may not be able to otherwise finance themselves. They can come and receive services from our department. We'll do an assessment of their home, find out where we could assist them, and provide services to help them live safely and comfortably in their homes. And this is what it looks like now. So that was her bathroom. This particular homeowner received a lot of residential safety repairs to her home. Her particular project is still underway, is coming to an end very soon. Okay? Any questions about either one of those programs?
I had a question
Yes,
about
ma'am.
the demolition program.
Yes, ma'am.
Are the properties generally vacant, or are the people who own it, are they displaced from the property for some reason? What is the normal?
So normally we do take care of commercial and residential structures, single owner structures. I will say that if it was a single owner or homeowner or air property and is no longer habitable, they can come and talk to us directly, and we can assist them in trying to remove that structure if it's no longer habitable. Go ahead.
So the cost to do that work is borne by HUD funds and supplemented with city funds?
It really depends on the homeowner. If I have a homeowner come to me and say, I have a structure that I need to have demolished, I can pay for it myself. I just don't know how to do it. They can come and talk to us, and we can coordinate the demolition of that structure. Now, if they're in need of assistance with getting that structure demolished, then we can take them through the process and have HUD funds, utilize HUD funds to demolish
For
the
instance,
property.
that College Street property
Yes.
is much more valuable after the demolition and the clearance.
Mm-hmm.
So federal funds and city funds have been used to execute that service
Mm-hmm.
at the benefit of the property owner?
So to answer through it all, first, the property must be vacant, for sure. We cannot touch any property that is inhabited. And from that, each property is inspected from an individual basis, because we do have to go through a checks and balances to identify what source of funds can be utilized on the property. Now, what the homeowner does after we remove the slum and blight is up to the homeowner. But if there's anything that if they wanted to rebuild on it, there are restrictions that go with it because of whatever the source of funds are. And as she stated, we can tap into commercial demolition as well, where we've helped remove slum and blight. In those cases, those business owners are paying for their demolition. We're assisting with labor. And whenever there's general funds used, that's a case of it's in a flood zone, 9 times out of 10, where federal funds cannot be used. So there are stipulations behind each one, so that way we don't get an influx of calls that say, hey, demo my property so I can sell it tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't want those type of phone calls.
The property was basically unsellable, directly across the street from a school, but interesting to see that, it was an estate. So it is for sale, and it is, a nice piece of property in a wanted district, so it is an improvement for sure.
Well, our objective is to eliminate slum and blight. So once we do that, then we have met that objective when you're talking about HUD funds. And we mirror our general fund program along those lines as well.
I have a question. If residence is not being utilized and the property is not in good shape, needs a lot of repairs, would that possibly qualify under your program?
It depends on which program. Are you talking about demolition or are you talking about
Improvement. I don't know which
residential
one.
rehab?
It could be the one.
And I would say, with those, whenever you come across properties that are definitely vacant properties, or even if they're inhabited, definitely reach out to us as department, because we can tap into it from demolition, rehab, or even acquisition sometimes. So that just gives us an opportunity to assess it and see which program it falls into best.
Now, I want to also share that our residential rehab program is a residential rehab program, not a residential renovate program.
Okay.
Yes.
So we tackle all of the 5 major components of the house, which is the foundation, electrical, plumbing, the roof, and of course, the walls. Make sure that the foundation is stable.
May I have a contact phone number, please?
Sure, we'll be able to give that to you as soon as after the meeting. We'll give you
Okay.
all of our cards.
Thank you.
What is the waiting list like with the residential rehabilitation program?
We really don't have a waiting list right now. No, we don't.
We're nearing this,
Yes.
we're nearing the end to this project. We also have another project where we did an acquisition and we're doing we are doing major renovations to this for home ownership, and Pam will talk about that. But we do not have a waiting list. We do have 2 more projects that we're working on as far as renovation, homeowners replacement, and rehab. So there are a lot of different tiers that people could qualify to be able to participate in our programs. So just come in and you just never know.
And it might be a good time, Tracy, and I hope I'm not messing any of this up. That was a great question, and in the last couple of years, you guys have taken down how many buildings?
I'm going to let Ms. Parsons share
That was
that.
a good time for that.
So to date, we've taken down 177 structures.
Wow.
Commercial and residential.
Yeah.
We do have one project underway, which will give us 178.
Back in the day, your department used to do a lot of controlled burns with the fire department. I remember that from my early days in the city, and a lot of development of slum and blight to move out of the way for new building, new construction. Is that still taking place?
Yes, it is still taking place. In the summertime, the fire department, it's too hot for them. So if you see any controlled burns or any partnerships, we will let them know this is coming on the horizon so that they can do their planning, because it's a lot to coordinate a controlled burn. They invite other agencies throughout the state to come and participate, because that is a rare occasion to have a structure to train like that. So it's still available, but they don't usually do that in the summertime. They usually do it in the winter and spring.
Yeah, I got to photograph a lot of those back in the day.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to have Ms. Pamela Trappin. She's going to come and talk about infield construction, down payment assistance, and we have an announcement that's going to be coming from Ms. Harston at the end.
All right, good evening, everyone. So as we've discussed, demolition sometimes will lead us into homeownership opportunities where we have vacant structures, vacant lots that are now available. Either the homeowner has decided to sell the property to the city, gift the property, or we've identified it as an opportunity for us to go in and acquire for homeownership opportunities. How many people know where this is actually at right now? I know one.
7 houses from my house.
I have to make sure I'm standing close to the curb when Beth drives by.
It's this wide. The street is this wide.
But, so this is on Ann Street, right on the corner, across from the Infant of Prague High School. And you have 2 nice structures. So both of them are 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. Wow. We'll pull it up there. But both of them are 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes, and they're currently going for $208,000.
How much?
$208,000. And the purpose behind it is to provide affordable opportunities for our future homeowners. It's a great moment to be able to say that somebody has been approved by going through our home buyer education courses that we have scheduled throughout the year. Our next one is actually next Saturday, the 16th. We are still taking registration for $25 per person, and those is the first step to be able to move into homeownership. We also have our money management classes. We have that one scheduled September 6th. And then we are a HUD-approved housing counseling agency, which means that we have been certified to speak to those that are interested in becoming homeowners, and they are required to go through a minimum of 2 hours of counseling. In those counseling sessions, we are discussing their finances, their credit, what it means to be a homeowner, how to maintain your home, and how to ensure that once you are able to get in the home, you are able to keep the home. By going through the housing counseling services, we have opportunities that can start from up to $25,000 in down payment assistance from the city. We have a partnership with North Carolina Housing and Finance Agency, which allows us to give an additional 25% up to $50,000 if they're working with approved lenders. And those are all different opportunities that we discuss in the class because we want to make sure they have those partnerships affordable to them. And once they're able to get into the home, they are a true homeowner. They are able to maintain the home. We make sure that not only are they being able to take care of the house, but they're able to afford the home as well. We're not going to set our homeowners up to the point where they're able to get into the house, but they're not able to actually live in the house. We don't want them to suffer either.
Is that house at like the Ford and Poplar area?
Yes, ma'am. And so as you can see here, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It's a split floor plan. You can see some of the inset pictures, what the interior of the home looks like. It's an open concept. You walk in, you have your dining room and your kitchen immediately on your left and your living room on your right. Stainless steel appliances, wood cabinets. We have no carpet throughout the home. It's all LVP flooring. And again, they're meeting the income qualifications. I love the master bedroom, this one. If you can see, it's got the tray ceiling back there in the back. But just because it's an affordable house doesn't mean that we have to say that it's what some people would assume somebody would live in. We want them to feel like they are just in the neighborhood just like anybody else.
And when we choose floor plans, we try to match the streetscape of the existing neighborhoods because we're doing infill construction. So we want to be mindful that the house we select is going to fit the neighborhood.
And so this is the other one. So they are the exact same floor plans, different colors, scheme, but the floor plan itself is the same. And we were also able to do this on Cox Street, where we had 112 and 114. If you were able to attend our open house last year during Community Development Week, we sold one in December, and we just closed on the other one the end of July. So Cox Avenue is taken care of.
And we're going to have another ribbon cutting, wreath giving ceremony during April, our CDBG week of next year. So you all are invited.
Out of curiosity, when someone qualifies this for one of the homes and they purchase the homes, is there a criteria that they have to live so many years in this home before they can sell it or vacate it?
Yes, ma'am. So that's part of our down payment assistance program, where we have the lots that we build on, we have a 10-year restriction to them. And within those 10 years, they are asked not to leave, because the whole goal is to revitalize neighborhoods. We want to have the consistency and sustainability of our neighborhoods. If they have to leave before their 10 years is up, they are required to pay back the cost of the lot. So it is a requirement. It is a lien against them to hold for the 10 years. And that's in addition to the down payment assistance. So essentially, they could receive up to $55,000 in down payment assistance. And what we want to make sure is, when you see the price of the $208,650, that is the cost of everything. But when we remove the cost of the land, that's how much we want them to qualify for a mortgage for. But if they qualify for less, that's where our down payment assistance comes in to help supplement those gap financing.
And they still have access to North Carolina Housing Finance Agency, and they have up to $55,000 down payment assistance. So there are a lot of resources that's out there to help our client to obtain the dream of home ownership.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead, and then I ask mine.
Mine is actually two questions. One is the average square foot, and the other one is one of the management classes that you have coming up. Is that a flyer that goes out? Who does that go out to?
So our square footage, we usually come in average about 1,200 for square footage. And our classes, we have them available website, social media, but we can also make them available to you via email, so that way you can get it and share as well.
I've seen it on New York City.
And before you
flyers
leave
or-
too, they're also
Yeah.
located at the reception desk. We have some flyers sitting up there as well.
And for our viewing audience, if you have the city calendar, we schedule our dates a year in advance, so that way they can be placed in the calendar as well for planning purposes.
I had a quick question on the Ann Street properties. We recently, like within the last 4 years, were able to get natural gas run up the street. Were we able to tie these houses into the natural gas that's right on the street?
No, we did not tie these particular homes into that natural gas line. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Were you going to say something?
No, he asked my question, I just want to know the square footage of the
Square
house.
footage? Yes. So this one specifically is 1,100, but we average about 12 if we can.
Okay, thank you.
And also, we do have more lots available. So if this house may not be the one for somebody that you're thinking of right now, still give us a call, because we are working with builders to get additional floor plans to work on the lots that we have.
You had a question?
Well, I was thinking about those who stay in the area, i.e. military. What about the VA loan? Do you still work with military that are staying here in the area?
Yes, if
that
they're going to be
qualify?
here, yes, ma'am. So if they're going to be here, it is income qualifications. So that's one of the first things, is income qualification. But we are in the infancy stages too of trying to identify ways that if you exceeded the income qualifications that HUD identifies, that we can create a program that will help identify those people that exceed that 80%. So we're really trying to think outside the box and get creative in how to make homeownership affordable for those that may not feel like it is affordable.
And just wanted to touch on the 10-year. The industry standard says that to stabilize neighborhoods, you need to have home ownership of at least 10 years there to stabilize the neighborhood. So investment properties and all of that, that's why we don't encourage using our programs for that. So this will help stabilize a neighborhood because they're going to care about that neighborhood and they're going to do whatever they can to participate in being a good neighbor.
Good. All right. All right, and our last slide is our community fall refresh. If you, any of you may have remembered or heard of our spring refresh, we did this initiative the earlier part of the year, and we're getting ready to start it right back up again for the fall season. We have put out some dates here, October 4th and 18th, and November 1st and 15th. This is where we address minor exterior home maintenance to those who need some assistance. Anybody can call and schedule and request to be added to the schedule. This is where we do some yard cutting, edging, leaf blowing, removal of minor trash and debris, some power washing of the homes, things of that nature. It's also a great opportunity for some of our organizations and agencies within the community to get involved, get some community There you go. Volunteer hours. All right, come out and join us as we get ready for our fall refresh. You can volunteer as an individual. You can volunteer as a group. Okay, and so they can just call 910-938-5286 and set up an appointment for those who need assistance. And if you want to call and set up a volunteer time for yourself or your group, they can call the same number as well.
It would be a phenomenal idea to tie this in, I know for neighborhood information services, but for the community at large during those dates, waive the lawn waste pickup. You know, this is the time of the year that people are sprucing up their yards prior to holiday decorations or that type of thing. I know during the weeks when there's a holiday, during the week there is no trash, there's no leaf pickup. And so when you have twice as much the following week, you get a sticker on the door and you have to pay for the city having a holiday and your trash, your lawn debris doesn't get picked up. But perhaps if they looked at having it more of a community thing, like, yes, we'll come and pick up some of your limbs or something like that, you could participate outside of the NIS services, but, you know, refresh your own yard too. Just an idea.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. LaCourie, would this be something that our community could team up with, and because we normally have a fall trash pickup?
I think we somewhat do that now through NIS's programs. I know each year they come through us for equipment. Now, what is equipment? Whether it's gloves, trash bags, rakes, all those sorts of things. What we don't hand out are any power tools and things like that because we don't want anyone to get injured because our equipment isn't for the average person, so we don't want anybody to be injured. So I think that's the level of where we're at today, unless you guys, I think I've covered that. You have groups, kind of what you said, that organize and come and do these sorts of things, yeah.
And normally what happens is we have, with the groups that do come out, I do know that your church did come out and they participated and we brought out a whole group. Somebody, I don't know, Eddie, Eddie had his whole business. He brought everything on the truck. Everything he needed was right there.
That's nice.
And so that's generally what happens when they come together as a group. Those community members come together, they bring their own equipment, lawnmowers, leaf blowers, things like that.
Not to mention, she has a truck full of equipment.
That I got from parks. So,
I also wanted to give kudos to Bishop Will Smith. We had a older lady that had an issue. It was code enforcement violations, and she needed some help. And we were able to connect with him. He sits on our neighborhood improvement advisory committee. So I was able to reach out to him, and he went over there and he assisted that lady to avoid her having code enforcement come and cut the lawn for her and put a lien on her house, because that's their protocol. So just I want to give kudos to him for stepping up and helping this lady, and I think he's going to be checking on her from time to time to continue to help her out. But that is the meaning of one city, our city, my city, so that we help each other when we have that kind of need. So just want to give kudos to him.
Ladies, do you have
Yield it back to
anything
you.
concluded? Does anyone have any questions for these lovely ladies?
I have a comment. So, Tracy and her team has been very good about talking about partnerships, and obviously they do a wonderful job, certainly, of getting the community behind what they're doing. And those sorts of things, the cleanups, they can't be done without that. And that's awesome. But you've heard her mention various times, mentioned whether it was streets or parks. What you may not know, and I think it's important to point out, is when you go by Georgetown Park, and you go by Wooten Park, and you go by Jack Amyette, their fingerprints are on those three parks. There are playgrounds that have been funded through NIS. There have been shelters that have been put up that have been funded through NIS. And that's, we talk about when we work at the city having relationships and that sort of thing, and being able to work together and trying to do those sorts of things. And Tracy and her staff has been very good to us as far as making sure our parks are getting what's needed in those communities that we can utilize NIS, and we've done that. And I didn't want that to go without being said tonight, so I think that's important.
And don't forget the bathroom renovations.
Yeah, the bathroom. I mean, to be sure, I've not named all of them. I just wanted to make sure that there's an acknowledgement of that. And Tracy knows, what am I going to do, Tracy? I generally will look at her and say, do you have any money because of this? And Tracy just looks at me and shakes her head. We work through those sorts of things, and we
try to make it work.
Yeah, we try and make it work, and that's the goal for all of us at the end of the day. Yes,
Okay, I'm a widow, been a widow for 10 years. Okay, I'm on the Are You OK program for the city. And they normally come out and March and do some things outside my house, things that I requested that they do, and they have did an excellent job. And every year they come, I send a letter to the sheriff, and this year I got a response because they are unsung heroes. Now, being that I'm a participant in the seniors program, could I be a participant in this program?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I need some more work done. I mean, really.
Double dip, Lyle.
When you were married 47 years.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. And we really work together. It's hard on me.
Sure.
Because I'm a senior now.
But I think what you've heard some of tonight, and that's a great question. That's why we're talking about this. These are the programs that help people like yourself that are available in the community that the city can maybe help out with.
And to his point, this is information, and we tell our Neighborhood Improvement Services Advisory Committee to go out and tell the community all about NIS, so that they can still take advantage of our programs and all of our activities and initiatives. So there's a lot of other things that we do. Go to our website, you'll see everything. But as far as in the seniors, that is a priority for us, seniors and disabled, for those repairs. Those seniors have been in their house. It's an initiative for seniors to stay in their house and age in place.
Yes.
So we're trying to build up resiliency repairs and materials to help them do that.
And after the meeting, I need your phone number.
Yes, ma'am. Wait, it's right there up there on the
Oh, that's the number?
That's the number.
That's the number.
Okay, thank you so much.
Does anyone have anything else for the ladies? Thank you for a wonderful presentation, very informative, great presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You'll hang out with us for the rest of the meeting. We're normally pretty prompt. Next, we have an open discussion, and I'll turn this over to Mr. LaCory if he wants to
So
facilitate.
I don't really have a lot tonight, but what I wanted to tell you, usually I could sit up here and talk about us putting out all these Christmas decorations, or we're doing this in landscaping and those sorts of things. The reality is the last 2 months of this time of year is what we call routine. We are mowing, we are weed eating, we are edging, we are blowing, and it is everything we can do to keep up with it. Obviously, with the rain, that slows us down, but it also speeds up the grass, which makes us have to continue to keep pushing forward. What I do think is important to share with you is New Bridge Street. It is, I would say, 98% finished as far as plantings. We have a little bank of an area over here, landscaped area, that we're going to knock out in the next couple of weeks. And then New Bridge is finished. If you've not been down it, it's a nice look down there. We're very proud of the plants that are out there. And I think we've seen a good response from them up to this point, so that's good. Also, in the last month or so, we've put out our summer flowers, and we've planted about 3,000 of those around the city of Jacksonville. Obviously, you've seen some at the Freedom Fountain, you'll see some at the cemetery, and you'll see some through our park system and anywhere else. But it's not easy to fit those sort of things in when you're trying to mow every 7 days the same piece of property. But, we do a pretty good job of managing those sorts of things. And last but not least, I know we all drive around the city, and it says this on. I hope everybody's excited about this let me say that differently. I hope everybody is as excited about this as I am. The cemetery, which is an exciting place, has had a gravel road my whole life. In everybody's whole life. But we're in the process of starting to pave the cemetery's road, and I think that's a big deal. There is a lot of maintenance in that road as a rock road when it rains, and we get the washouts and those sorts of things. Hopefully, in the next week or so, you'll see some work being done over there, some asphalt being put down, and I think that alone will, we think the cemetery is maintained fairly well today. That alone will give it a cleaner look in itself, and I'm excited that we're doing that because I think it's going to add a lot of value to the cemetery and to the look of the corridor that we have here, and I just wanted to make you aware of that. Thank you, Ms. Smith.
I wanted to recognize Jason and all of the staff at Parks for having to work in this intense heat. And not just y'all, but all city employees, public safety, inspections, metering, everybody's got to be out there in this heat because people say, oh, I'd love to have a job like that and sit on a mower all day. It would be so relaxing. I'm like, yeah, but it's 110 out. It's not a really great day to be on a mower, but you still have to be out there. And we see how early you're getting out there to try to beat it, and just please express appreciation to the staff for working during this heat condition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I would just like to add, I know last year for the Christmas parade that you guys participated in that festivities, and I could not join you because I was out of town, and I'm not for sure if you're going to be participating this year, but in the Civic Affairs meeting today, the Lorette Ligon, our president, did confirm that Saturday, November the 22nd, so that's the week before Thanksgiving, That's the day that the Christmas parade will take place. And this year's theme is storybook time. I'm just
Trying to go
saying.
in line with Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
So I don't know if we're going to have another vehicle with participants. I'm scheduled to be at the National League of Conference in Salt Lake City, so I will not be joining you, but I will be joining you in spirit, just in case if you participate. So think about your favorite storybook time, and I don't know if we want to paint it green with the Grinch that stole Christmas, or whatever your
Could be a
favorite.
Christmas story, could be many different things.
It can be many different things, so that's the theme for this year. So Saturday, November 22nd.
That's awesome. Thanks for telling us.
Anything else from anyone? Here's your chance. Our next item is to note when our next meeting will be, 6 p.m. as usual, Thursday, October 2nd. That sounds crazy, but October 2nd. And the meeting after that will be in December, the first week of December, December 4th. So if you all will mark that on your calendar so we can see your smiling faces here. As always, thank you to everyone who serves on this board. Thank you for the staff. You've had a long day. Thank you, Chelsea, for all that you do. And Jason. Thank you. And you too. Thanks. Now we're looking, oh, you have one more?
I just have a quick statement. This is off agenda. My son graduated Officer Kennedy School this weekend.
Congratulations.
My husband and I is being Marines. So I just wanted to share that. I'm so high. I'm not wearing a shirt today.
Congratulations. That's a wonderful honor. This town loves its Marines. Congratulations.
So we're going to dust off our camis and take a picture with him.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. He's going to have to salute y'all, right?
I was his first salute.
There you go. All right.
Of course. I did. I got my silver dollar as well.
I do want to mention something, though. Last week, I was watching the boot camp at Paris Island, and the honoree for the whole company there was a young lady, I don't know her name, from Jacksonville. And I stopped at the recruiting office, nobody answered, just to say, hey, you guys need to let the city know you got somebody from Jacksonville, North Carolina is an honor graduate. Wow. That should be known throughout the city a little bit, but sometimes the recruiters are so busy, they may have let that go. But I did let them know that, you had one from Jacksonville, North Carolina, a young lady that was the honor graduate.
What month was the graduation?
This was the last week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I thought that was something that should be out.
That's awesome. Thank you for speaking up and saying that. Appreciate it.
And let me look at my calendar so I make sure that I have the right date. So it should be, I'm thinking August the 28th. That should be our Mumford Point Observance Day. That sounds about right. And I believe it's at 8 a.m. in the morning because usually it's still kind of warm during that time period. And one of our committee members, Lieutenant Colonel James Smiley, just recently attended the National Mumford Point Convention, and I apologize that I do not have the location. But anyway, he shared with us that there were several original Mumford Pointers that actually made that convention, and the youngest was 96, and the oldest was 101. And he was in a hover-round, but when he came up on stage, he actually got out of the hover-round and stood with the other Mumford Point Marines. So that's a big honor that takes place here in our city. So that's coming up on the 20th. Did I say the 27th? 28th of August. That sounds about right.
Would that be at the memorial?
Yes, over by the Mumford Point The Memorial.
The convention was in Atlanta, Georgia.
It was in Atlanta, Georgia, okay.
Nice. All right, that being said, our next item to consider is adjournment. We're looking for a motion to adjourn. Thank you, ma'am.
Motion to adjourn?
All right, we're looking for a second.
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Look at that, 6:51, we're in a fishing group. Get it done.